Hello everybody, Victor speaking, and today I wanted to talk about Turok. Now many of you, including myself, may remember Turok from the Nintendo 64 games. It's been a while since there's been a brand new Turok video game, especially a good one. But it seems like things are about to change, or maybe there's a lot of potential at the very least. According to a brand new leak from the Epic Games Store, Turok has a brand new game currently in development by Saber Interactive. Beyond that, there's no real details about it, what it's going to be, whether it's a remaster, sequel, remake, or reboot, which is pretty much what many are questioning. But if you don't know Saber are the ones behind the upcoming games like Space Marine 2, A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead, John Carpenter's Toxic Commandos, and my personal favorite that they've announced, Jurassic Park Survival. And if you're a Jurassic Park fan, you're probably just as hyped as I am for that. So if anybody can make a brand new Turok game, I believe it's Saber. But what is this game going to be? That's the big question, right? Turok's history is expansive, and he actually started as a comic book character nearly 70 years ago. Yeah, him and Godzilla are basically the same age. And because of that kind of stuff, it's hard to answer whether or not it'll be a remaster, a sequel, a remake, or a reboot of the franchise altogether. Now, a remaster and sequel, those things don't really seem likely. I don't see them continuing the story of either the Acclaim series or the 2008 game. I don't think anybody's going to be confused why that's not happening. I don't see it being a remaster either, specifically because Night Dive has already put the first 3 games on modern hardware, not to mention that the N64 expansion has just added the first game to the lineup of games. So now people on Switch can play the original game with no improvements or anything like that, just as it was on the N64. Now whether Rage Wars or Evolution or even the 2008 game get remasters, I don't know, but if they do happen, it probably won't be for a while. A remake could fix the problems I personally had with the original games, mainly in the level design and the story of the first game. The level design isn't the worst thing, but if you've played a really old shooter, they're like mazes, and it's not always fun to replay them or revisit them for any reason, and your first time playing them, you're probably going to use Google. And as with the story, it's really the first game that doesn't have a story. I mean, it does, but it's mostly outside of the game, and it's not fully explained in the game. They don't tell you that the bad guy's looking for the Chronoscepter weapon that you're constantly getting pieces for. They don't tell you anything about the world you're in, the Lost Lands themselves, the Pearl Inn, nothing. None of that story is inside of the game, and they could fix that with a remake of the game. However, as much as I would love that to some extent, I'm personally inclined to believe a reboot is the most likely. I feel like they want to have a clean slate. They don't want to have to continue or basically retell a story that's already been told. But it doesn't matter what this new game is going to be. There's just a few things that it has to do, in my personal opinion, to make it a good Turok game. I shouldn't have to say this, but the first thing is that it has to be a first-person shooter, above all else. Again, I shouldn't have to say that, but because of Escape from the Lost Valley, it's kind of something I have to say. Even if it's not exactly like the games of the past, keeping it FPS can make it accessible to old fans and new fans. The second thing is the story has to be good. It's a no-brainer, but don't let it be like the 2008 game and just be a retread of Modern Warfare, but in space with dinosaurs. Turok needs to have its own identity, which is what the next point is, identity. One of the biggest problems with Turok 2008, and I mentioned it earlier, was it felt too similar to other shooters, even at the time. It had combines from Half-Life, the story of Modern Warfare, and just the gameplay of an average shooter game. It didn't feel like Turok. Now, Turok is well known for its sci-fi, fantasy elements. Think Doom, but not dark and gothic. I'd say the most important aspect of what makes Turok Turok, no matter what iteration it is the Lost Lands. A mysterious place in which time has no meaning, alien-like technology, dinosaurs are still alive, monsters lurk in the darkness. Turok should be filled with wonder and danger around every corner, like the first Halo game. It shouldn't just feel like every other shooter. Though there isn't much information on this game, hopefully I've given some insight into some of the possibilities of what it could be. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. What kind of Turok game are you hoping for? Like the video if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe for more episodes of Vic Speaking. That's all I've got to talk about. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.